Hi, my name is James Orvis, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the 8-bit kind of chiptune type of sound in Kevin De Vries' Phoenix, which came out on Afterlife. And it's kind of a funny one, this one, because I just find it interesting that he's managed to bring this sound back, basically, because I was listening to a lot of music around 2006, like Crystal Castles and a lot of chiptune type stuff that was coming out alongside like Soulwax and things like that. And there was a lot of this going around at the time, and it's just like, I think it's really cool that the guys brought this back on Afterlife as well. Like, it's a sound that I've come across a few times, like over the last few years. In like, it might be in like a preset pack with a set and synth, or like an hardware synth. I'll have it in there because it's like a classic type of sound. And I just think it's really cool that he's managed to squeeze it in there and use it really tastefully. And also that people are asking about it as well, like how to make that sound, even though it's like something that people were using a lot, like maybe like 15, 20 years ago and beyond. So let's have a quick listen to this, and then I'll go through how I made my own version of it. So you get the idea. I can't play too much of it because we'll get flagged by YouTube. But yeah, so that's the original version. Then I made my own version. So like this one, I will say the tonality of the sound is a little bit different. Like I've A/B'd it, and it's like the ideas are there, but it's just the sound of the oscillators is slightly different. I don't know what synth is used, and I've spoken about this before. It's quite hard to match the exact tonal makeup of the sound, but quite happy with how far I got with it. I just used basic oscillators and just settled for Pigments because it's easier to show you everything on there. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and play this. So this is the MIDI that I used, and as you can see, it's not as complex as it looks. So you've got A, C, and then G. So it's A, C, and G, A, C, and G, A, C, and G, so on. And then obviously it changes there. You can look at those and screenshot it and copy them if you want to do it yourself. And there was two ways of doing this. So there's one way, which is to use an Arpeggiator where you press the chords and it scrolls through it 3 times and then back down again. Or you can draw the triads like I did. So you've got 6 ones going up, which I found easier to do it that way. And I'm using Ableton's Arpeggiator. So I'll just quickly press play and you can have a listen to it with the Arpeggiator on. So notice that the sound kind of goes up and then it comes down again. And that's what I've done on here. I've got up and down set to 64. So that's a big reason why it sounds the way it does, because it's really, really fast notes. So let's have a quick listen to this. So that's pretty much it. That's as far as I got with it. I'm pretty happy with that. And let's have a quick look at everything and go through it. So what I'm going to do is turn Echo Boy off, and then I'm going to go in here. Have we got any effects on? So we've got chorus, we've got reverb, delay. I didn't use that in the end, so let me just delete that so I don't switch it back on. And then distortion, effects bus. I had a delay on there, but didn't use that in the end. I was just messing around, really. So yeah, let's turn them off, and then let's just go through the sound design. So let's switch off the filters. This is why I love showing you stuff on here, because you can easily just go and switch the modules off. It just makes it so much easier for these tutorials. Wavetable, I didn't use that in the end, but we'll have a quick listen to that actually. I'm interested to have a look at what I did there and why I didn't use it in the end. And then let's just see let's have a quick listen to that with this on actually. Alright, so this is a good place to start. So basically, what I've got going on here is we've got oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. Let's just turn 2 down. So you've got square wave. And that's got me pretty close anyway, as it is. And then you can see I've just moved the width around. So it's get that kind of shape going on with it. And then the second one's a more standard kind of square wave without that shaping going on. To just kind of thicken it up, and you can see there I've brought it down. Brought it down 12 semitones to thicken up the sound. Because I noticed that when I first tried this with a single oscillator, it didn't have that thickness on the original. So yeah, I've just put them together, and then I've got a bit of noise in there as well. I have no idea why I settled for blue, because normally I'd just go for white. I must have just liked the tone of it, because normally I'll settle for white, and then this time it just wasn't cutting it for me. The white one, it sounded too clear. I wanted something a bit rougher, so I was just modulating this, and then blue for the first time. I found it just works really well. So it's not as prominent really. So let's leave that up a little bit. And then what else have we got going on? There's a little bit of drift there. And I didn't use any detune this time, but you could, you know, if you was making your own version of this, you could do the classic detuning, which I really, really liked the sound of, but I just left it for this tutorial. But if I was going to use this myself, I'd definitely bring that up. I love that kind of sound. So yeah, we've got that going on, and then the VCA, we've just got this shape here. So there's a little bit of attack, because if I bring this down, it's just too harsh. I wanted to soften it a little bit decay, and the sustains up a little bit as well. So it's not like a hard chop. So it like kind of ends here anyway before the note finishes. So it only really gets to that point anyway. So this is kind of irrelevant. So we've got that, and then the next thing we're going to look at is the filter. So I didn't end up using the filter, I just left it open, but you can play with that filter, which I think it does in the track as well. There's a little bit of resonance there. Really, really basic, simple sound. And while we're here, I'm just going to have a quick listen to this wavetable, because I forgot why I brought this up. Yeah, it was kind of cool, but then I did end up just going with this basic square wave. So the next thing that we're going to do is look at the effects. And we've got a reverb here. And 1 second. Yeah, I didn't end up using function. So that really adds to the effects there. It really adds to the sound, this one, when you put this on. So the reverb, we've got that set to 30%, and stereo width's all the way up, and then size brought down a little bit of pre-delay, decay, and then the dampening's not up. Because of the way the notes kind of glide up, you get this like really nice reverb that moves as well. And then we've got the chorus. Only a touch. And what I should have done really, I've put everything the wrong way around, so bad practice. Like normally I would put the chorus, I'd stick that in front of the reverb. So we can do that now. And then actually the delay would have gone before the reverb anyway. But because I used an external delay, I just ended up putting it after the reverb. Not too much of an issue, and it probably adds to the sound really. But you could, I mean, normally I would put the delay before the, or have it on a send. So we've got them going off. Let me just check. I didn't have anything. Oh yeah, I had the distortion as well. Could probably just move that over to make it a bit easier. So distortion. And let me just turn that delay back off. We're not there yet. So yeah, this distortion unit, again, I put it after the reverb. I'm sure that's kind of like making the reverb a bit grittier as well. So there's the basic kind of sound patch, and then I wanted to use the Echo Boy because the delay in Pigments wasn't doing it for me. So I just went for this preset accent tape 8s. That got me to where I needed to be, and then I changed the style to transmitter on here. So it's a single echo synced up, and then it's at 1/8 dots. And then this transmitter, there's no saturation going on because the volume from Pigments, the way I've left it, is driving this anyway. So it's pushing into it quite a lot anyway. And then what I've done with the transmitter is I played around with the EQ settings. So the main thing that I played around with was this mid EQ and push the resonance up on there. So if we start to play around with this. So that really got me to where I needed to be. And then lastly, we're just going to add a bit of processing at the end. So I've got a tape. Pushing it quite hard into that actually. And I say it doesn't look hard on the meter, but normally I'll let things rest around 7 because it does saturate quite a bit. But I felt like this time with this sound, I just wanted to push it up a little bit. And then we've got a preamp and a channel as well. You can get rid of that one. So again, pushing it a lot harder on the channel than I usually do, and the preamp as well. But I'm not, the preamp's not set all the way to 100%. Whoops. What's going on here? I've just got a new Magic Mouse. Normally I use like the gaming mouse, but with this, because you can scroll better with it. But it's getting used to it. I keep doing silly things with it like that because of the trap pad. But you can see here that what else is weird as well with this is you can move knobs without actually moving the mouse, which can be a pain sometimes. But yeah, basically, if you turn it all the way up, that's cool, but I didn't want to have it that much. I wanted to have a bit of that flavour, but just not all the way 100%, so I've set it to 30 on the mix. And that was kind of there for me, really. Works really well. And there's another bit in the track, actually, where it does a bit more of like this kind of stuff. And that might have to come down a bit as well. So you can mess around with stuff like that and create different patterns if you're going to use this for your own projects. Just create like little gated sounds like that. So that's pretty much it for the sound. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If there's any questions about what I've done here, let me know in the comments below. If there's any sounds which you'd like us to cover, let us know that as well. And if you've got any problems, any issues with production, mixing that you want us to help you work out, let us know your troubles below and we'll do our best to help you out. Thank you for watching. My name is James Orvis and I will catch you next time.